Hello. How's everyone doing today? Happy hump day. I hope you can hear me. I'm having issues with my mic, so I am now on my Bluetooth and hoping that there's no issues here. Okay, so I think I can be heard and seen, I hope. Feels good to be heard and seen, right? I'm sure you can relate to that. So, anyways, this is your weekly training. I'm going to do at least 3 this month. I will not be in town next week, so I'm on vacation. But the following week, we will have another uh, financial fixer community live workshop. So just wanted to kind of give you a heads up on what's going on there. So if you don't know who I am, I'm Amanda Delaney, the CEO and founder of Financial Fixer. And what I do is I just help women become bosses of their money so that nobody else can be their freaking boss, right? So when we have control and we're empowered to manage our money and know what we're doing with our finances, and where our money is at and where it's going and how it's growing and it's flowing, we are more in control of our lives, and we can live a life with options. So that's what I do. That's how I work with clients and members. And here in this community is a lot of free value. This is where I show up and give as much free value within the amount of time that I have to provide as much information as I can to you, and just spill it all out and really make you think, and make you believe that you can do this too. I was once a really hot money mess, and it took me 34 years to realize that I was the common denominator in my own financial issues, my disaster, my dumpster fire of my financial life. So once I realized it was me, then I realized that I was also in control of changing that narrative, of changing the future me that I wanted to be. So I got started with really tracking my money. So that's how I really teach. That's the core of what I do. Is I am a support and an accountability partner to others that are ready to do something different that they haven't done before, or maybe they were a little misguided on how money works. And so I help to assist to make all the pieces align and um, click, right? Help the brain click and do the math, but also click with the mindset. Get your money mindset right. And the way that the money mindset can improve is by taking action, right? Being an action taker. So that's what we are here, right? We're action takers. I know if you're here and you're watching this, you are an action taker too. So let's do this. So why should you nurture your money like a marriage? I know you may be a little triggered by this one because it sounds really weird, right? So today we're going to talk about the reasons you should get into bed with your money, honey, right? And I don't mean literally get into bed. I mean, I don't know, if you want to get into bed with your money, that's totally fine by me. You do what you do, you, right? But if you're triggered by my metaphor, I apologize, or I don't. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but really what I mean is like, you may be thinking, Amanda, I'm not married to my money, right? And I get it. No, you're not married to your money, but you are in a relationship with your money, whether you like it or not, right? So, and this is what this talk is really all about. So, if you're here, you have a desire to learn, right? You have a desire to learn about one of 3 things. I'm sure that one of these 3 things you can relate to, and it makes sense to you, or you're aligned with this, right? So you want to learn how to build money confidence, okay? You want to learn how to find and overcome past money traumas. That's me, right? So if you're here, it's possible that you're my person and you have some past money traumas. Okay. And 3, you may want to just learn how to fix your relationship with money. It's a little strained, it's a little, off balance, and you want to fix it, right? So I'm going to kind of dive in on how, by you nurturing your money, like a marriage, the three reasons, why you do that are going to help you to gain one of these three things, right? To get better at one of these three things: your confidence, overcoming past traumas, and just fixing your relationship, right? So let's focus on the confidence with money. Um, have you ever like fallen off balance when it comes to a relationship, right? Like just all things are good and blue skies and smooth waves and like no issues, and then all of a sudden things get rocky, and you're just not on the same page, right? So oftentimes that's a lack of communication. Usually it's some kind of like disconnect, right, in communication. And there's this, like in the movie Mr. and Mrs. Smith, right, like where you're in the bubble and the bubble's just filling up with all the things that you're not saying to each other, right? And it's going to burst, and when it does, it's going to get really ugly, right? So I'm kind of using that metaphor kind of like help you get aligned with the fact that communicating with your money is necessary, right? So when you're not talking to your spouse or your significant other, things get lost in translation, right? Or they get lost in the silence. Okay. So what happens there is, like if you're not communicating with your partner or friend, you know, things are not feeling right. They're feeling off. They're feeling, like you're not happy, or you're not connected. When you're not connected, we're human. We need to feel connection, right? And when we're not feeling that way, we're simply there's confusion that sets in, or there's anxiety over something that might not even be true. We may be thinking something that might not even be real, right? And ultimately we can align that lack of communication with the lack of tracking, right? So we're not paying attention, right? So tracking your money is the same way is the same thing as communicating with your money and or your spouse or your partner. Does that make sense? So when you start paying attention, you start receiving the benefit of the confidence and the knowledge and knowing what's going on without asking, without even having to. Sometimes it's an unspoken communication, because when you're tracking, you actually, your budget and or your tracking system has your back, right? Without a whole lot of mess of communication, because you're already communicating that because you're tracking and you're paying attention. Okay, so that's one. And so two, let's overcome the money, past traumas with money, right? So I have so been there, with being financially strapped and broke and in poverty, and it was very traumatizing, right? It was very toxic. And aligned with that, I was in toxic relationships with friends and partners and stuff like that, because I was going through trauma, right? So have you ever been in a bad relationship or a toxic relationship in the past and not gotten over it, right? Have you not made amends and or not forgiven that person? Do you still hang on to it? Do you still hold a grudge? So, and how is that serving you? Like if you haven't forgiven, or you're still holding some kind of grudge or resentment towards that person that you were in a relationship with that might have hurt you or something, right? So have you ever considered that maybe this is similar to the way you feel about your money? Just a thought, right? So we may be in pain due to the way our money has treated us, right? Or like our money problems, right? And maybe we're associating that pain with, I just want to not look at it. I want to not communicate with it. I want to not talk to it. I want nothing to do with it because I'm hurt by it, right? How aligned does this sound when it comes to relationships, right? Your money let you down, so you don't want anything to do with it now. But guess what? I have a little secret for you. This may blow you away. You're still in a relationship with your money. whether you like it or not. So your money is your ride or die, whether you like it or not. So you need to work together to create a common, ground and build a strong foundation in relationship, whether you like it or not. And I suggest you start liking it, because if not, then life is going to really suck, because you do need money to survive, right? So think through this. I'm just kind of giving you some metaphors or analogies, so to speak, to kind of get you aligned with the fact that we do need to nurture our money, whether we like it or not. And I suggest liking it, like I said. So, how do we fix this? Is the third thing. How do we fix our relationship with money? First of all, we need to accept that you're in it together for the long haul, right? This is a long term thing. This is ongoing. It's a lifestyle. It is a lifelong journey and relationship. Okay. You need your money to protect you and to provide security, right? Your money needs you to help it grow so that it can protect you and provide security. So you have to work together. All of this that I'm saying sounds a lot like being in a marriage. And some of you may not be married, some of you may be single, but I'm sure that you've had relationships here and there. So I'm just referring to relationships in general, right? And just saying the word marriage, right? Marry your money in a way that you are treating it like you would treat a person that you care about building a strong relationship with, metaphorically, right? So I'm going to do a call to action, just a little call to action. I'm going to keep this kind of short today. Kind of, just wanted to do a quick talk. Let me see if I have any questions here. I was just talking to my husband about paying more attention to our money, specifically taxes and what everything is. Yeah, totally. Yeah. I mean, and this is really about relationships, right? I mean, but if we're in a bad relationship with our money, we may have some issues, that'll come up, right, in our actual relationships, which I talk about in different trainings and talks, and as I go through my coaching program as well. So, absolutely, communication is everything. It is absolutely key to life. And if we're not communicating, and in this case, if we're referring to communicating with our money, I'm referring to paying attention to it. I'm referring to not having a conversation. Oh, I'll pick up a dollar bill and be like, oh, I love you. No, that's not what I mean. I mean actually noticing, paying attention, tracking when you spend, what you spend your money on, and following your money and paying close attention to it and giving it attention, right? So journal on this. This is my call to action for today. Journal on this. Think through how you communicate with your money and where your confidence stands. Like, where is your confidence at? This is kind of like journal prompts a little bit. How confident and am I right now with my money? And how well am I communicating with my money? How well did I communicate? This is the beginning of March, for the sake of this live at this time and this date stamp, right? We're in March 2nd, right? And actually, my anniversary is tomorrow. I'm going to be married 5 years tomorrow. So I can tell you this. I'm just going to use this little story as an example, since I've got time, right? Keeping this short today. Last year, I was not, and I'm not like picking on myself. I mean, everybody like falls off the wagon from time to time, right? But I found myself not totally nurturing my marriage like I should have been. Like, communication. I was just like, I wasn't getting him, he wasn't getting me, and it was just really like we were off, right? And it went on for a little while, and I realized like I needed to like talk to somebody. So I did. I talked to somebody, and things started to get better from that point, because I started like, doing the internal work, right? But I realized so much that it was a lack of communication. I wasn't saying the way I was feeling, that I was really feeling, and he wasn't either. And then it was just like this breakdown of communication. And now things are better, a lot better. And it's simply little things that we've each been doing, you know, together, communicating on that, you know, has made it better. So, and I want to align this a little bit, like with my business, for example. If I'm not in good communication or good standing, or like, you know, like things aren't good in my household, for example, if like, you know, there's trouble there, I'm not going to show up confidently in my business or with my money, right? I'm going to make bad decisions. I'm going to be spontaneous. I'm going to be more less mindful, less focused, more distracted, more overwhelmed, more full of anxiety, more stressed. And all those things equal expensive, right? It's expensive to not have, you know, comfort and happiness, for example. So if we're not happy with our money and where it's at, we've got to do something about it fast. Fix it quick, right? So start tracking, start paying attention to your money. Another call to action would be to actively nurture. And I kind of was there, but to actively nurture and to wake up in the morning and be grateful, regardless of where your finances stand. Show some type of gratitude and ask for the universe to respond, right? Because it will. And instead of, you know, like what I mean by is positive talk, right? Because your inner mean girl can really, really stop you from getting to the next level with anything that you want in your life if you allow it. Okay, so bring it to the positive, and don't hang on to the negative, right? So, and then also journal. This is the third thing. Create a vision for your future. Think about what you want your vision for your future to look like. What do you want your financial future to look like in the next 3 to 5 to 10 years? What does that look like for you? That is the best way that you can love yourself. You're loving yourself by nurturing a relationship with your people around you, and of course your finances, because your finances are the thing that's going to take care of you at the end of the day. If you want to really know the truth, ask me. I'm someone that, you know, I have family that is not being taken care of very well with their money because they don't have enough, right? And it affects everyone. It affects so many things. And more than anything, it affects you emotionally. So think through that. I hope that that is helpful today. Hope you love this live. And let's see here. Don't think there's any questions. Hey, hey. Yes. Hashtag live if you're live. And if you're here on the replay, please hashtag replay. And if you have any questions for me, please certainly like let me know. If you want to go through, you know, run through this at all with me, hit me up in the DMs. Also, I have a masterclass coming up on the 28th of this month. So 3-day masterclass. It's another 3-day masterclass, the 28th, 29th, and 30th of March. And more to come on that. Landing page is almost finished for that. So that will be dropping super soon. So if you have any questions about the masterclass and what that entails and what you get, please let me know. All right. Have a good one. I'll see you soon.